my boy Suneater, he's gaining that courage. Huh. I'm really looking forward to his fight. So, he's going to be fighting 3 of the 8 expendables at once, apparently. He says even at the end of the chapter, he could take all 3 on by himself. Not much more is needed. And the reason for this is because obviously throughout the chapter, it's clear as day that Overhaul is trying to stall for time. Because remember, the whole point of this operation is for them to save Eri. And right now, Overhaul knows this. He's trying to get her out of the hideout. And if he can make it out of the hideout with her, but at the same time, if he can make it out without anyone seeing him, automatically it makes it to where they can't charge him for anything, because if they don't see him, if they don't actually see him at all at this crime or know anything, they'll assume that, you know, the people that were here were operating without his consent, or he was unaware completely. And so they need to see him here, because if they don't see him here, automatically he just gets away. They can't charge him. Even if they know he did it, it's like you have no evidence to back this up. So right now, it's a battle against time. You have it to where all of these little factors throughout this chapter is just to stall time for Overhaul to get away, for, you know, he can actually not be charged with anything. And all these others that are there in this hideout are willing to just throw away their lives or throw away their futures or whatever just for Overhaul to be able to do whatever he is doing, which goes along with the mentality of how the gang is formed and how they, you know, look at the top member because of loyalty. And basically because of this, you have it to where there's a thing for what, you know, Kurishima says, like, that's not manly at all. You know, you're serving this man and he's just going to allow you guys to take the fall for him and all that. That's kind of messed up. And basically that's what's going on here. But because of how all of these, you know, people were raised, but also, you know, how this type of house or, you know, this, you know, hideout in this organization is formed in the first place, obviously it would be like that. And they still hold these practices that have been going on for a very long time, which dates back to when the organization was first formed. So, with all that being said, basically, Suneater knows this, and so it's best if he can handle all 3 of them at once, for all of the others can continue on down the path, because the longer they keep messing around or wasting time or fighting people ahead of them, it's making it to where Overhaul can get away with Eri, and then mission is lost. They automatically lose the operation. So, Suneater is doing a very noble thing. He's wanting to make sure the operation stays on track and they don't get delayed any further. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is Mimic. I think that's his name. Mimicry or Mimic, basically. It is revealed that the 8 expendables and all the others that are trying to stall for time are willing to use the actual drug. The, you know, drug that, you know, enhances the quirk and all that, that was revealed a couple of chapters ago in the, you know, main manga, Boku no Hero Academia. It was revealed that, you know, some were, you know, using it and how it increased their quirk. Well, apparently a bunch of the people that work underneath, you know, Overhaul, they're actually using that drug to increase their quirk, for they can do crazier things, which is why the entire underground was just shifting around and moving, because normally the person that has that quirk ability shouldn't be able to do that, but thanks to using this drug, he was able to actually manipulate the entire underground. So because of that, we now know that these people that, like, Suneater is going to be fighting, they're probably going to also use the drug to increase their quirk, which is going to be ridiculous probably to find, because if they're already strong to begin with, you add in the fact that they use this drug to increase their quirk, they're going to be even harder to defeat. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Suneater could possibly fight all 3 at once. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he says he can. He says that he's going to try to help out and all that. I mean, there's a couple heroes there. I don't know if it's actually going to happen. Like, if all of them are going to leave him and allow him to fight 3 at once, I don't know. I mean, it has been implied that he is pretty freaking strong. Like, he's up there with, you know, Togata, which, I mean, we know Togata's pretty crazy as well. He's a really good hero. He's really strong, and Suneater is as well. I mean, if he is able to overcome his, you know, fear of failure or not being good or whatever, and thinking of the worst possible outcome, this man could be ridiculous. The man could be one of the strongest heroes out there, but that's one of his, you know, crucial flaws with his character. And in this chapter, he kind of overcomes that thanks to Togata kind of encouraging him and going on ahead, basically. He's like, you got this and all that, and he goes on ahead and moves forward, and then Suneater realizes, like, holy crap, like, I need to, you know, do what he's doing. I need to stand strong, stay firm, and face these opponents, which is what he does. So Who knows? I mean, it's up in the air right now. Can Suneater fight 3 at once? That is the question. But anyways, though, let us talk about Bubble Girl for a second. So, as we know, Bubble Girl and also, I think, Suneater, I think that's, his name. Basically, as we know, these two characters that work underneath Night Eye, these two characters are actually fan creations. What I'm getting at is when they popped up in the chapter, I talked about it in case you didn't watch those videos, basically, fans went out of their way to, draw these characters, and then they gave, like, the character design over to Horikoshi. Horikoshi liked the design, and then he added these characters into his series. So these two characters, for instance, Bubble Girl and Suneater, they're both, actually fan-created, and they're added into the series. And I gotta admit, I've loved Bubble Girl since she was first introduced. She has a really nice outfit, just a very cutesy outfit, but also her quirk ability, which I haven't really talked about much, and I have the, wiki page pulled up here, and I want to kind of discuss her quirk, and what she kind of did to the dude in this chapter. So, Bubble Girl's quirk is called Perfume Bubble. With this quirk, Bubble Girl can make bubbles filled with aroma that she has smelled at least once before. She can make both sweet-smelling bubbles and foul-smelling bubbles. When she's too nervous, she produces very unpleasant-smelling bubbles that it's self-destructing. So basically, what is said here with her quirk ability is she makes just bubbles, which we see in the chapter, and these bubbles, if she has smelt something before, let's say she smells dandelions or whatever, or, just regular flowers or whatever. She can make a bubble smell like that once it pops. That smell comes out of the bubble. Or let's say she knows the smell of rotten food or garbage or whatever. She can have that in a bubble and it pops open and then you're like, ooh, that smells bad. Basically, she's able to take smells from different things and able to make that in the bubbles. Now, we don't know exactly how far this quirk ability can go. For all we know, she might be able to make some form of, like, explosive bubble. I mean, it does say self-destructing bubble. We don't know if it's just, it pops or whatever, or if it's an explosion. We have no idea. I mean, if she can actually smell anything and understand it, and the chemical of it, and make chemicals and stuff, like, I don't know, like, if she can figure out some compound to mix together that smells a certain way and then make it explode, she has a very powerful quirk. I mean, it seems very simplistic, it seems like something not very strong, but if you look at it and really think about it for a second, Bubble Girl has a powerful ability, but she also has an ability that isn't one of the strongest. She's more of those type of, heroes that has to use hand-to-hand combat, has to be able to fight like Aizawa-sensei. You know how Aizawa goes in and he fights all that, he deactivates her quirk and he just goes in and beats the hell out of them? Basically, that's how Bubble Girl is. She uses her quirk ability to kind of probably throw someone off. Like, she throws it in and basically gives a foul smell and it kind of throws someone's senses off like, ew, that smells like shit. And then she goes in and then she just, beats the hell out of them with hand-to-hand combat. Something like that. So, I do like Bubble Girl's, abilities and how she's able to use it in combat. Really cool, and I like how Horikoshi made a very simplistic ability that honestly doesn't seem like it'd be anything impressive, turn out to be really cool. So I like how he's using Bubble Girl and not just throwing her to the side like, just a fan-created character and just not really using her at all. I'm liking how he is using her in combat. Now, Suneater as well, I do like what he did in the chapter 2 when he was taking out the opponent. Really cool stuff. I like his design too. So, I mean, overall, I just like how Horikoshi is, giving these two characters some of the spotlight throughout the chapter. Even if it isn't much, it is still nice to see. So, anyways, besides all of that, though, let's talk about Togata for a second. So, Togata, the man has his suit, his hero costume, made out of his hair. What? Like, okay. Hear me out, okay? Basically, it is stated in the chapter that Togata's suit is able to basically phase through things like he is, and he won't, have his clothes fall off and become naked as easily as once before, because the clothing has, his hairs in it. And if so, if his entire suit's made out of hair, that's a lot of hair. Like, the man had to have been keeping his hair since he was like a baby to be able to make a suit like that. Unless there's more here than I understand when it comes to his quirk ability and all that. But still, for his entire suit to be made out of hair and all that around it, like, oh my god, like, it makes you wonder. I mean, maybe, I don't know, I'm throwing this out there, maybe someone is able to, like, extend hair, make hair extensions or something, like, for instance, grab a piece of hair that's, like, this long and extend it and make it longer or something, maybe something like that, maybe there's a quirk ability out there. I mean, look, Horikoshi does do some very bizarre character quirks and all that, so, who knows, maybe you know, that was a thing. Maybe Horikoshi made a user have like this hair extension where you can make the hair a little bit longer or something, like when it's cut, and then wrap it around, you know, in the suit or whatever, and make it to where it's a hero costume. Something like that might have happened. I don't know. But regardless, though, this chapter of Boku no Hero Academia was pretty awesome. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please be safe. Chibi out.